She didn't fall back asleep again.
No, I couldn't figure out how to unmute. It wasn't
Oh,
unmuting.
okay. I was just like, oh no. I was just up there.
I mean, I might fall back asleep. There are no promises.
Do it.
My wife got me this blanket size hoodie, and I
Yeah.
like literally curled up inside of this thing
Those are
and
crazy.
took a nap
Those are
earlier.
super cozy. We have some ones of those.
This is glorious. We've been doing this for years. I'm comfortable with y'all, so I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is the perfect no pants size hoodie in the universe. Like,
They are.
it goes to my knees, and like, oh, it is. I go outside with it. Like, it's just great.
You put the dog in it.
Yeah, I fit the dog in here. He climbs in here with me.
Nice, nice.
We call it the mobile touch agent.
All right. Well, let me get our question list up here. Let's see who quick. Quick year D100. It looks like. $27. Ooh. Well, I think I'm pretty sure I know what honkers is, but what is your character's greatest fear, and is it irrational? There we go.
Hunker has two fears.
Two fears.
Hunker is, of course, very vocal and scared about fire.
Understandable, rational.
Deep down inside of Hunker, there's a Hunker. And Hunker is very scared of Hunker. Like, maybe more scared of fire, or more scared of Honker than he is of fire. Like, I'm Honker is very scared of Honker.
All right.
Is that irrational?
That's like part of the fear, because like I'm Honker is very young, and he's only like, his soul is old. He's not a child, but he has been like, he's been kind of sentient for 4 years.
Yeah.
So he's still kind of absorbing and comprehending the world, and that's one thing that he struggles with is is this Honker that's inside of I'm Honker like rational or not? And if it is rational, what does that mean? It's kind of something that he's struggling with. Yeah, for sure.
That's really deep.
Interesting. All right. How about you, Bros? What spooks you?
Ducks.
Ducks. Okay.
You're not getting any explanation behind that, and Braz doesn't feel like it's irrational.
All right. All right. Interesting. All right. How about you, Maz?
Coco, stop it.
Cat interference.
He keeps clawing my arm.
Rude.
I would say that Maz probably has two big fears.
Okay.
One would be one would be bugs, doesn't like bugs.
Okay.
They're creepy crawly. And the other one would be like being alone.
Mm. Okay. Those seem pretty rational. All right, how about Grotus?
Grotus tries to live his life without fear. And it's to have fear, to live, to let fear rule your life is anathema to him. But he out of that he does have that anxiety. What if he's not living Moss? What if he isn't truly being extreme every moment that he can be? And so that would be his biggest fear. That's the only way he could let himself and his legacy down, is to not just be total balls to the wall, Mountain Dew Code Red extreme.
Guy Fieri, diners, drive-ins,
Yeah.
dives,
No, yeah, he
Flavortown.
put the donkey sauce on everything.
What if I'm only Mountain Dew and not Mountain Dew Code Red?
Can't be a Mountain Don't. You just got to Mountain Dew it.
That's beautiful.
Oh man, we're
Uh,
slipping.
So that's what Curtis is probably afraid of. Is, yeah, not living Moss, living in Poco. It's not good enough.
All right.
Like for example, he even regrets. He did like the throw darts at me trick, which is like his default with the Mad Muggers. When really you just should have offered to get them all fucked up on the dream pollen that he had. That probably would.
Oh yeah,
That would have been a
right.
better way to live Moss.
Oh man. All right. So here we are. See if this jogs any memories here. Anybody have any remembrances about what you guys got up to last time?
We kicked the granola chick's ass.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's all I remember.
All right. Yeah, you guys did. There was Nemia, this little halfling, convinced that everyone is a poison against nature and killing the earth, has been doing some shit around town, evidently, and to y'all's truly. But she's in the ground now.
We're missing a town sheriff.
You're missing a
The
town
mayor,
sheriff.
the mayor has come to us hat in hand, asking us to restore the peace, us humble freaks.
Mm-hmm. Literally, hat in hand.
We had to consult members of the sideshow,
Mm-hmm.
literal sideshow people, for their help. We got a list of places of interest about what might have happened to the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
One led us to the Mad Mug Inn, where we met the Muggers, the most original name of gangsters ever,
Mm-hmm.
and convinced them that we didn't have to bar fight to be friends, by just being degenerates with them. And then they said they wanted to kill the sheriff, but they didn't. It was definitely some crazy ass druids, and it had something to do with, or we believe, crazy ass druids, and was last seen at this farmhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to the farmhouse, and once you fucking know it, it's overgrown with angry animated plants.
Indeed.
Don't you hate when that happens?
God damn it.
We left off here, and Grotus had been poking around the front here, open up the doors, got some business agitated here in the bushes, and let's see, we hadn't rolled initiative. That's where we cut off last time. So everybody go ahead and give us the old initiative roll. All right. All right. So, with that, top of the order here happen? That's okay. We'll fix that. Plant was still first. Then we got Honker, and then Grotus. Or not? Oh wait, no, that was the. I misread it. That is not the. That was the question roll. Okay. All right. So this large plant, these vines with these mouths on the end, are kind of grasping or reaching out of these bushes here, Grotus, where you would kind of were approaching this front door, and they. You see that these leaves on these viney branches of this creature are kind of wriggling out of the underbrush here, and like the leaves, they have like kind of a little bit of thorns on them. Got a little bit of sharpness to them, and a couple of these are kind of coming out near your feet here, and they kind of make some moves to try to take some strikes at you. Let's see the leaf here. There we go. What? It shows I am targeting you. What the fuck? Come on. You guys can see the plant on the map, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But you don't have them in. Yeah. Well, they appeared
They're not
for a
on the
moment
combat
in the
tracker.
combat tracker.
Oh, they should be.
There we go. Now we see them in the combat tracker.
Ah, okay. Maybe that might have been what it was. Okay, let me try that again. The fuck?
Pumpkin.
It's not targeting.
Again. Stop it.
Grotus. Select plant. Come on, interference. Yeah. Okay. Control. Huh.
Maybe Grotus isn't there. He's just an illusion.
I know. It kind of seems that way. That's weird. Either that or this is like, even though it says like this has a reach of 10 feet, and even though it says that Grotus is 10 feet away, maybe it thinks it isn't. Okay. Well, in that case, let me see if I can have it do something else then. Let's see. Okay. Well, it does something. You aren't able to see what it is, but it does something on its turn. All right. So, Honker. You guys are over here, a little bit away from the barn. Grotus is the one that had gone in first. What are you up to over there?
Okay. I haven't really seen an enemy, but we're kind of just walking along right now, basically towards this structure.
Yeah, you guys are like come up to this
Right.
barn, and if I remember right, Grotus was taking the initiative to kind of go up and check out the door, and this is kind of coming out of the bushes next to him here. Like it's all fairly overgrown, kind of right up around the barn. There's lots of these trees, and kind of shrubbery. And at least from where you're standing, there's like a bit of a shrub between like you and where Grotus is at. So I don't think you'd be able to see this plant thing yet.
Okay. So yeah, I don't really have any reason to be doing anything, I guess. I would be walking along, following Grotus,
Okay.
and talking to myself. So that'd be, take up a couple of my actions. That'd be my turn.
Okay. Rouse?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have had.
I mean, as a free action, not when the thing came out, would Grotus be able to just go like, ah, shit?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say if you would have done that, that makes sense to me.
But to be fair, you probably say that a lot, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
If that was the case, I'd I'd walk up to Grotus. With my last action, I'd go. You ever think about what color the wind is? I bet it's blue. And the terrible joke should inspire courage amongst the party. So people will get for the next round kind of a +1 to all the things.
Oh wow, it took me a moment. I was like, wait, that was a joke. Now it's like, oh shit. Oh, blue. I see.
It does put Grotus in the mood to punch things.
That's kind of like what Hunker's beginning to realize.
I like it. I like it.
All right, that'd be my turn then.
Okay.
That'd be-
So,
Okay, so I think probably along the same lines as Honker, I'd, probably come on over here to what Grotus is doing. To come up behind him would take 2 moves.
I'm Hunker.
Yes, you are. But unless I actually see this thing yet, I don't think Braz would do anything else.
I mean, the thing itself is kind of like in the bushes here, but there are some kind of tendrils of it, kind of going through the bushes and kind of starting to sneak out. But yeah, if you weren't looking for it, you probably wouldn't really notice it off the bat. Like if you weren't aware that there was some sort of danger going on, aside from being like on
And
it.
I definitely wouldn't have been looking for anything. Like I said, Grotus probably says I'll shit a lot. It's usually just our cue to come on over. So that'll be my turn.
Okay, Miles.
Mod probably going to follow suit and come over here. And I think given the circumstances, when she heard Grotus say, oh shit, she would take out her bladed hoop and be like, we fighting something?
Okay.
And that's it.
So, Grotus, as this comes to you, and your compatriots are kind of wandering up here making terrible jokes, and being their general selves, you begin your turn, and you notice one of these like tendrils that's been kind of slowly making its way out of the bush. One of them has a large, kind of wide-brimmed hat that's almost like caught on one of the thorns and stained with blood that's just kind of getting dragged along. It's like this is like kind of going along the ground, and it's like the brim of the hat's kind of like stuck under the side of one, and it's just kind of getting slowly dragged out into the open. And you guys all see
bit of undigested human victim hanging out, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Grotus drops into his stumbling stance, still very much startled by what this is and how it's coming at him. So he just kind of shout, "I don't know you," and then drops into this drunken boxing stance.
Okay.
And immediately does his flurry of blows. So he's just like, oh, and he comes at it, and he's just like, yeah, like a drunk redneck in a parking lot, just throws himself on top of this thing, flailing. I will grind you up and smoke you. And
doing the old just jump on the back of the alligator to grapple the thing, Florida man style.
Exactly.
All right.
He think like a monk, fight like a barbarian. So here comes the stumbling strikes.
Okay.
Okay, I dropped it onto the vine, but it didn't seem to roll on the table. I'll try
Okay.
something
Oh,
else.
let me try really quick. Maybe I did the token wrong. Let me make sure it's the right kind. Oh, yeah, I think I did the token wrong, because that's supposed to be that big. That might be why things were targeting. Try that thing. That should be a little more targetable. There we go. All right.
Great. Now he's got to roll a Constitution save against being stunned 1.
Oh, okay. Let me get this thing's saves up here. I assume Constitution is a that's a fortitude in Pathfinder.
Yeah,
right?
Fortitude save against my class DC.
Okay.
Full disclosure, don't know what my class DC is, but is it like 10 plus my level? He passes. Whatever the fuck it is, he passes.
I believe that is right. Yeah, it rolled a 32. So, yeah, I think that pretty solidly passes.
Okay, so I'll still roll damage on him, and he gets another fist coming at him too,
Okay.
but not with no stunning properties on it.
Oh, don't forget to roll the damage on your first fist too. Nice. All right, so we can whack it on this plant. It's got this kind of almost like kind of leathery hide of sorts. It's kind of a strange texture to it. You can almost kind of feel as you're punching into it, like most plants, its cell structure and everything it almost feels like it's full of water, because it pretty much is. Definitely a different feeling compared to punching a dude. That's for sure. All right, and let's see. Did you? I think you still had another action, didn't you? He didn't move.
Stance, 2 strikes. Oh, the 2 strikes are part of a flurry, so I do have a 3rd strike actually.
Okay, thought so.
Which I will do.
Mm-hmm. Oof.
It's good to get that one out of the way. Get
Right.
it out of the way.
Yep, get it out now. Man, this thing just is rolling good on the initiatives too. Criminy. Alright. So now that we have this in here, let's see. Alright, so as you've been kind of punching it, these little tendrils on the ground have been kind of continuing to spread out here. And a couple of them kind of raise up off the ground, like one near you, Braz, and one near you, Grotus. And they both try to strike at you, these kind of thorny vines, these leaves on them. Let's see here. All right. The one going towards you, Braz, you managed to dodge out of the way. But the other one, like, you're kind of already been right up in its business, and that one gets you, Grotus. And... oh, that should not have rolled damage on you, Braz. Sorry. I should have untargeted either. Go ahead and take that back off yourself. But Grotus... 13. Owie. He's a hurdy boy. And with that, oh yeah, that's a okay. With that special thing, that's all it can do. All right, Grotus. Got a little smacked up here.
I'm not happy about it, but the good news is that because he damaged me with a melee attack while I was in my stumbling stance, he's now flat-footed against my next attack.
There you go. I don't think that put it on automatically, so let me do so. I assume that's just under effects.
Is there a thing I can't I do that with the plus minus thing?
Oh yeah, I guess that would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think if you just do a plus.
Okay, because it shouldn't be applied to anybody else but me, so probably
okay.
you wouldn't want to do
I
it.
think I think in that makes sense that you would just put the modifier on yourself. That makes sense. Get an extra bonus. A hit.
This is a flurry, so he can do his fortitude check again, just for funsies.
Okay. Never hurts. I 30 would probably still pass there. All right, more hits, more hits. Nice, nice. All right. So you're wailing into these with these fists here. Oh, another one coming out. Strikes all of them. Everything landing true. You manage to kind of disrupt the plant cell structure in some of these tendrils, and you see them kind of getting a little limp, just from the vascular damage you've done to them with your blows. It's looking a little less wriggly in some parts of it here. I think you did. Yeah, you did 3. Yeah. All right. Anything else, Grotus?
That's my whole kit.
Okie dokie, bras.
Kind of at a loss here because her first instinct is to set the damn thing on fire, but that seems ill-advised.
Fire good.
But I don't want to set this building on fire.
Fire good.
I guess, are there any like sharp sticks near me?
Give me like a perception check real quick. Okay, so you kind of quickly just kind of ruffle through like these bushes here that are right in front of you, trying to find something to use. And as you're kind of parting these bushes here, you see a pair of bloody boots here amongst the brush as well, as this hat that has kind of caught on one of the tendrils that Grotus has been wailing on. But you don't find anything particularly interesting. I mean, there's plenty of sticks around in the bushes. You're not really sure how good of use they would be, but I think you have. I mean, you do have a club.
Yeah, I just don't know how effective that's really going to be against it, but I guess what the hell, we'll just give it a
I mean,
shot.
Grotus,
Because I have no
Grotus
other
has
idea.
been blunt force punching the shit out of it, and that seems to have done some work. So, I mean,
This is true. I really
Imagine-
want to light it on fire. I just don't think it's a good idea. So yeah, I'll just attack it with my club.
Yeah, just like imagine a big head of celery trying to bite you and you start punching and stabbing it. It's gonna hurt.
I don't want no damn celery near me.
Chop it up. Chip chop chop.
Gross.
all right. So you're letting out these blows on this tendril that have been kind of coming at you, Braz, and you get some good smacks in there, leaving some bruising on this thing's form here. Anything else for the end of your turn?
Nope.
All right, Honker.
I'll back a ways a little bit for one action, and then I will I'll attempt to use chill touch on this thing.
Okay. All right. It fails the save. What kind of
It's
effect?
not undead, I assume, right? Let's see.
No, it's not. It's a plant thing.
Okay.
Does that have any other effects aside from just
Nope.
damage with that?
Just that. If it's undead, then it does, but otherwise, no.
Okay. Yep.
So that's my turn.
Okay. All right. Maz.
Maz is going to take her hoop.
Mm-hmm.
So move into place.
Ooh. And a miss.
Dang it.
It's okay. You still got another attack.
Yeah.
Ah. All right. So you're swinging at this thing. This little plant tendrils are coiling around and moving around in these bushes. There's a lot of cover with all the plants around here. It's a little tricky to kind of pick it out amongst everything else. Everything's so green. And looks like that's the end of that. How does this keep rolling first on the initiative order? Good lord. Alright. Big plant. These tendrils that were coming after you, Grotus, it kind of reaches in your direction here and tries to grab you with these. Let's see. Let me see if there's anything that you have to roll. Okay, so it has to have had a successful hit previous turn. Okay, and okay. So it looks like this is an automatic grab. There isn't any roll involved, but because it successfully smacked you last turn.
Yep. Some of those creatures are nasty like that.
Yep.
Boy.
All right. So these wrap around your feet and kind of whip you up into the air, and you're dangling upside down here, Grotus, and you are grabbed by the plant, and that is its thing. Using that. All right. While it's doing that, you all can kind of see, as it's like lifting Grotus up in the air, you see these like kind of big flytrap mouths kind of trying to make their way out of the bush in the direction of where Grotus is at. Braz.
All right. Well, seeing my compatriot grabbed by a plant, I'm just gonna get crazy at it and smack it.
All right. Oof. Come on. Oh man.
Night.
Trying to go for these tendrils that have Grotus, but it is dancing Grotus in the air up here, trying to kind of creep itself closer to have a lovely snack here. Honker.
Okay. So I don't think I have anything that can really help him besides just trying to kill the shit out of this thing. I will try. Here's what I'll try. Honker will quickly shout out to the plant, "Hey, what do nosy peppers do?" And attempt to cast daze here. I'll say they get jalapeno business. And that will stun him.
Yeah, it fails its save. Yep.
It's stunned at how bad that joke was.
Right? That's intentional. So he's stunned for a round,
Nice.
and then he'll take 4 damage from me.
So that actually works pretty nice because according to what I'm seeing in the stun effect, a stunned creature drops everything held, can't take actions, and takes a penalty to AC. And since Grotus is being held, that gets Grotus out. Grotus, you kind of unceremoniously flump to the ground here. on the back of Honker's terrible jokes.
That'll be my turn. My whole turn now.
All right, Grotus, let me take the grabbed off you, since that effectively loosened you. You're on the ground, but you're free. There you go. You are no longer entangled with that.
Awesome. So, Grotus no longer, I guess he would lose his stumbling stance from that. I have to look at the stance rules, but I'm assuming that after being lifted and then dropped, he's not, and his feet aren't in the correct position.
I would think so. That makes sense that would happen.
So he's going to finish this thing off with the weed whacker. The nunchucks come out, and he's going to start raining justice in this thing.
All right. Nice. All right. Justice is coming out. Ooh. Ah.
All right, that'll be my turn.
Yeah, and you can see with the blows you're raining with your fists here and nunchucks here, like this thing's looking pretty beat up. You know, it's still kind of driven by this hunger, but you can tell that you guys have done quite a bit of damage to its vascular structure. It's not looking too hot. Maz with the hoops.
Maz is gonna try and attack it again.
All right.
Damn it.
Okay, you still got 2 more. You always roll a crit.
Maybe next round it won't be at the top of the initiative. Just maybe.
Right? I don't know how it keeps rolling. Oh, I guess it has a plus 13 to that. That's probably why.
That'll do it.
That would do it. Oh, man. These hoops. They're missing. Thank you for that raid, Flame. Appreciate it. How you doing? Good to see you tonight. This is actually Pathfinder. We appreciate you coming. Let me give you a shout out real quick.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Oh, what's Papa picking? For fuck's sake.
All right. Looks like that's
We're
all you can
already
do there,
doing blood
Maz.
one.
Braz, you're at the top of the order. It wasn't the plant for once.
Thank God. Maybe I'll actually hit it this time.
13 seconds to hang in there, Donnie. Trade blows with him.
What were you actually
Hey.
playing there, Flame, since Twitch doesn't want to tell me what it is? Oh, the critical misses.
Motherfucker.
Oh, it's so close. It's so close. But Grotus, you're still in line before the plant. You both went ahead of it initiative. There's a hit. Oh, it's so close. Oh, come on. Oh, it hit. Yes. All right. Yeah, that stun on that stun getting the drop. That worked real nice. That manages to finish this off, and with kind of a hiss of sorts, the structure of this thing kind of falls to the ground. And you have these vines all around you here now, lifeless, and we're out of combat. And there is a hat on the ground.
But what does the hat look like?
I have a feeling it's going to be distinctive to a person known about town. Perhaps a sheriff or a law enforcement individual.
Perhaps. It is a wide-brimmed hat. And, Braz, you had seen some boots in the bushes as well. You guys can poke around and see if there's anything else in there. You all aren't particularly familiar with what the sheriff looked like. or what they might have worn. But it does, it does seem a pretty nice hat, despite the blood stains and the bit of damage to it. But it seems like it was probably a pretty decent hat. So
I'm gonna poke around in the bushes a little deeper.
okay. All right. So you poke around the bushes around here, and you're kind of pushing around the corpse of this fly catcher here that you guys have killed. You do see a couple of things in addition to the boots and the hat. You find a silver chain, which has kind of a little insignia on the end, which you do recognize at least as being an insignia related to like Aberton. It's like a little city crest on it. And I'll put these on the party sheet here. Let's see, where is party sheet? There we go. Inventory. There we go. All right, so you get the silver chain. You also find you're not quite sure what it is, but there is a. It's what's left of a chest piece. Like there's enough that you can put it on. It's like a kind of a light armor chest piece, and there is a strange like pyramid shaped spike right in the middle of the chest. That's like mounted on there. You can see that the the pyramid itself is like slightly like it's separated from the rest of the chest piece, and it's like attached somewhere under the pyramid. You can't quite get a good look at it just because the way the chest piece is fashioned. You're not quite sure what it does. You can certainly have it looked into and try to find out what it is. But I'll drop that in the party list as well.
Grotus, check this stuff out.
What do you mean? Check it out. It's fucking pyramid smashed up piece of armor. Fuck.
Could be significant.
I mean, we can put it in my anti-looting bag. See what it's worth.
Your what bag?
Anti-looting bag. It's like when you get to a crime scene and there's things that haven't been looted yet, you got to put them someplace extra safe. So you put them in the anti-looting bag.
Of course.
So what had happened was, officer, there was all this stuff at the crime scene. I was worried somebody was just going to come up and take it, so I had to put it in this anti-looting bag.
Of course. Well.
So that's
Sounds
yeah.
like dealing with extra steps.
Sure, I like extra steps. What do you think dancing is? So
Lost
Fair
and
point.
found with extra steps.
Fair point.
you don't understand the elegance of crime. So it's, I guess he'll look at the magical talisman.
Okay.
It has no description in the party sheet.
It does not, because it needs to be identified.
How can I
Does anybody
identify
have
it?
like a?
I have law theater.
Let me look.
I have
I
lower
actually looked up how
underworld.
Pathfinder does that. Let's see. Pathfinder identify. How does this work?
Look, you're asking a lot of some simple circus folk here.
Yeah.
Identifying magical objects.
Identify items. Okay, so let's see.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. If you know what it is, quick, though, fire away.
I didn't off the top of my head. If you had looked it up, I know there was. I think it's like identify magic is an action under Arcana, but like you could also argue about almost anything for it.
Yeah, looks. Yeah, like there are some spells that can. There are some. Yeah, I guess we could just do like some kind of Arcana roll. At least for something like this, because this isn't particularly like complicated. Alright, sure. We'll say that's good enough. Let me identify this. There we go. Okay, so you do some examinations on this, Roz, to try to figure out what the heck it is. This is like a talisman that's been attached to this chess piece, known as a savior spike. And basically what it does is if you are trying to like, jump and grab like an edge of something, and just to kind of like help you do that, you can activate this savior spike and it will shoot this little kind of pyramid hook thing out of the chest to like grab onto the edge with you, and kind of give you a like a bonus to that, like grabbing, like a reflex save or whatever.
So it's a fancy grappling hook.
In a way, like it doesn't like it's not like you can just like stand somewhere and be like and like shoot it out of your chest and like grapple up to stuff. It's specifically in the case of like it keeps you from falling when like jumping to edges of things. So it's like you jump, maybe you're not quite sure of your footing, you're gonna grab it and fall. You could be like, and that'll activate and like help you not fall.
Sounds useful for the circus.
That it could be. That is actually kind of useful for circus. Well, there you go. It's in the party sheet for whoever wants to Graham. And yeah, you all find yourself still standing out in front of this barn here. The door, I think, yeah, Grotus managed to get the bar off the door, because that was when this flycatcher came after you guys. So the door is like slightly ajar, just because the bar got taken off, and it awaits.
Shall we head in?
Moz is already heading in.
Of course she is.
There is adventure to be had.
Alright, so you guys head in. So you guys open this door, and this kind of lets the light spill into this barn. This large, dark barn. There's not really any lights in here aside from this door and any, small holes and things in the roof with the sunbeams coming down through. There's a row of animal stalls along the west wall, and some cubicles for hay and food storage. There's a table and chairs that are kind of tucked into the northwest corner as you guys are coming in from the door. And the walls are covered with shelves and hooks and things for, harnesses for animals and other equipment and things like that. There is a loft above you all. There's a ladder just east of you that you can see that heads up to the loft. The loft is about 12 feet off the ground above your heads here. And it goes around the perimeter of the barn. It's like this just kind of ring loft up there. And you guys, there's also a second ladder you guys can see kind of way down on the southwest corner of the barn past all the animal stalls as well, that also connects up to the loft.
So, are there any animals in here, or any evidence that there's been animals in here recently?
Sure. So you take a look around, and you notice that like the storage for all of like the hay that's around here is fairly scorched. Like you're looking at these kind of larger storage pens on the eastern side, and like a lot of this hay is scorched, and it's kind of surprising that it's scorched and like the whole barn is still here. You would think that it all would just go. And otherwise, the aren't any like there's any other livestock in here. And while you're looking around, like while you're poking around in this hay over here, Braz, you're down over by these other stalls down here. Any of you that are like kind of still standing in the middle of the room, like where Grotus is at, where you can kind of see above you well enough. You see above you between the loft these small fireballs that almost look like they're being like tossed back and forth between something up in the darkness up there. You kind of hear some little giggles as well. So like, and you see those little flame balls getting like tossed around.
Show yourself, dickhead.
When you call this out, Grotus, one of the animal stalls down to the south of you here, you see a mephit come out of one of these stalls. Let me make them visible here. Kind of pokes his head around the corner here and says, Mistress Nemia, is that you?
No, it's not.
Yes,
I'm
it
Honker.
is. No, you're Honker and your Mistress Nemia.
Oh, I'm Honker and Mistress.
Now you're just confusing him.
The mephit here on the ground, kind of sees you all standing up here in the northern end of this room, and it's like, you don't look like Mistress Nemia. She left us here for too long. We're bored. And as this mephit like calls this out, it kind of runs / kind of hops up towards you all, kind of with a bit of a malicious glint in its eyes. Everybody give the old initiative roll. All right. Nice. All right. Maz. I assume by this point everybody's like in the barn. Let me bring you guys in here.
Yeah. I'm probably near Braz.
Okay. All right. So you got this little mephit here coming up towards you guys. Maz, you're at the top of the order. Let me see. I think these guys got a little. Oh, it doesn't have a picture, please. These ones. It's like when you guys have seen mephits before. They're like kind of little tiny imp dudes. And you guys, you had interaction with some water mephits in the woods near the camp, who seem to be a little bit more interested in just kind of pranks and stuff. These ones look a little different than those. These ones are kind of a more earthy hue. You suspect that they're earth mephits, since mephits are kind of elemental type creatures. And then you also see in the loft above you, there's these two fire mephits that are up there that are the ones chucking a little fireball around for funsies and somehow not burning the place down. Well, you're up, Moz.
Maz is going to use the bladed hoop on this one.
All
Does
right.
it not target?
No, it hit. It says it hit.
Oh, mine Mine must be being slow.
That might be. Yeah, it shows a hit for me in the list. So go ahead and roll the damage there. Nice. All right. So you bring out your first attack here on this little earth mephit here that's kind of hopping angrily and somewhat recklessly in your direction. Gives it a good slasherooning. Still got some more actions. What are you doing?
She's probably gonna attack the same one again.
Okay.
That one doesn't hit.
All right.
And then she's probably just going to stay where she is.
Okay. All right. Honker.
They're fire. You were saying, right? Fire methods.
The ones that are down here right up in your business, these ones are earth, but there are some fire methods above on the loft that have been chucking a little fireball around.
Okay, well, I'll use. I think I'll definitely queue enough for me to
Like
one
here, I'll put them
back the fuck out of there, and then I'll bust out the chill touch.
Yeah, like the two on the map, like they're 12 feet above you on the loft, like
okay,
in terms of where their positions are.
I'll probably target this one closest to me.
It fails to save. All right.
That's my turn.
And good. All right. So let's see, which one is this? This one's over here. All right. So another one of these earth methods comes hopping out of the stall over here in your guys' direction. And as it comes up to you, let's see, how big of a cone is this? It comes up to you, kind of with this look of like impatience on its face, and it says, "Yamio left us here all alone, and this is what she sends us. This kind of fun. I'm tired of this." And as he says this kind of wave of rock kind of ripples from the ground out in front of this little weird elemental imp creature in all of your directions in a 15-foot cone, which would hit all three of you. And let's see, reflex save. Let's see, Grotus fails. Vraz succeeds. Maz critically succeeds and takes no damage. Nice. Alright. Did that put damage on you, Maz? Because it says that... Okay, yeah, it did do that properly. Okay, it did. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
damage
I don't
0.
have any damage.
Yep, damage 0. Okay, so it still rolled it. It just changed it to 0 because of the thing. Alright. So like the rocks under your feet all just kind of like... It's like this whole wave of earth coming out of this little mephit dude. Kind of surprising, actually, because they're just little dinky little buggers. Which brings us to the one up above here. One of these fire methods up in the loft. And you see it kind of running along up the loft here. And as it gets up here, there's a kind of a puff of smoke that happens, and this whole little corner up there gets kind of concealed in this smoke cloud. Braz.
Okay. So I'm gonna need a little help because for the first time I'm gonna use one of my alchemist bombs.
Okay.
Okay, so first question I have, if I remember correctly, when you had a character like this, Moog,
Yes.
one turn is to craft, and then one turn to actually use it. Correct?
Yeah, and I think if I remember right, like the way that I usually would have like one like crafted. So that was the way that I was doing it. But yeah, like it for ones like in combat. Yeah, it takes an action to craft another one.
Okay, so I am gonna do that. I'm gonna make an alchemist firebomb, but then so this one does quite a bit, but I'm not sure how this works because it doesn't say like. Does this have to be focused on one enemy, or can it affect multiple?
So with the splash damage, it does. So for example, if you were throwing it at, one of these ones that's like right here, you would, target whichever one you're chucking it at, and do the cast roll, which will, roll the d20 and see if it hits. And then for the damage, the 1d8 fire, that gets rolled on the one that you were specifically chucking the bomb at. And then the splash damage gets rolled on the ones next to it.
And then the persistent would go on the one I chucked it at, correct? The persistent fire?
For fire, since it's persistent, that actually goes on everything that gets hit by the fire.
Okay, so I would throw it at one. If I hit it, that'd get the fire. The one next to it would get the splash, and they both get the persistent one fire.
Correct. Yeah, that's the way I would do it for those.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I understood that before I actually started doing this. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna throw it at the one directly in front of me.
Okay.
So of course, one move to make it, second move to throw it.
Okay. And I think let me double check really quick on if I can't remember, because like it is still like a bomb, and I can't remember if it missed, if it would just like break on the ground and still do just like the splash or not. I can't remember if that was the case.
And I don't specifically see anything about that in the description in the book.
Okay, let me take a look. Let's see, missing with a splash weapon. Okay. Interesting. So I don't know. I don't think. Oh, okay. This is actually in the combat rules regarding splash weapons, I guess. So the way that they have it do for misses with splash weapons is that, like, because obviously it still hits and goes, even if you didn't, hit somebody's torso. They have a 1d8 get rolled to determine where it missed. So, for example, like a 1 means that you threw it like too short, and so it kind of hits in front of it. Whereas like a 2 through 8 determines like a direction, southwest, west, northwest, north, northeast, east, southeast, around the thing where it hits the ground, and then it does the splash damage around where that hit. Which I think that sounds pretty reasonable to me, because like if it's a splash damage bomb, it's still gonna splash. That makes sense. Because otherwise that seems like just like really harsh in terms of like alchemist balancing. Because like if you're making these like AOE splash things and you miss and it just does nothing, like that seems a little shit.
Yeah. So I need to roll a d8.
Yeah, roll me a d8, and we'll see where that hits the ground. Okay, so according to the way that this is laid out, a 4 would mean... Okay, so with a 4, from the direction that you're throwing it, that means that you threw it a little too hard and to the left. So you threw it kind of behind and to the left of the one you were targeting. So the splash would still hit both of these guys from behind. So I'll just go ahead and put this is just like a 1. Well, actually, let's make sure it works. Go ahead and target both of those earth methods and do the damage roll for the 1 fire. Let me make sure that... Okay. Looks like that did do that, right?
Did it do it to both of them? Looks like it might have only done it to one, even though I targeted them both.
Looks like it. I'll manually put it on the other one. Okay, so that one should be...
Yeah, it looked like it worked on number 10.
Okay, yeah. Number 10, so number 4... Yeah, so this one should be 18. Cool, and then we'll have the persistent damage happening to both of them. All right, so you hit them both with that. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. I like that roll. So we'll have to remember that for when you have any sort of splash stuff with the missing rolls. That at least lets you still do some damage,
Right.
even if something else is.
And then I'll use my final turn to craft another one.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Grotus.
Grotus says this is all whack. So he's just going to continue with nunchucks.
All right.
Love it.
So he's going to move in over here towards the one that looks a little bit more, smacked up. Going to target him. And then do what the targeting is for. Dropping the chucks. Well, nuts. Okay, so these nunchucks, well, all nunchucks in Pathfinder, I guess, have the backswing trait, which means you get a bonus to subsequent attacks after you miss.
Okay.
So I think he gets a +1 on this second attack because he missed with his first one.
That's cool.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you don't totally fail then.
But it doesn't tell me if that hit or not. I rolled. But
Do you have them selected?
yeah, I got him targeted and everything. Yeah.
And is that roll already have? Yeah, you did modify it. It says it missed. I don't know why. It might be taking a moment to go through the tubes and show up or something for some reason, but that one missed.
That's the same one that I had issues with when I targeted it. My stuff didn't work on it.
Okay, that was my final attack.
Okay.
Even though I didn't deserve to make it because I moved, doesn't matter. Right.
That's okay. All right. So the earth elemental or earth method here on the ground. It sees you kind of taking swings at it here with these nunchucks, and it kind of bunches up its little fists and it kind of tries to take some swings at you here, Grotus, and it's like, I'll show you some hits, and we'll see if it does. Let's see. 4 targets Grotus. Misses. Hits. A little bit of damage here. And it kind of scurries back a little bit away from you all here. And, it's still on fire this whole time. Oh, yeah, the persistent damage would have ticked. Because it's its turn. So that
Oh,
was the...
I forgot to put that on them. I wasn't sure how.
I don't know if I don't know if that actually, does it right. I mean, I know at least when I did mine, it was usually just whenever it came up its turn, it'd be like, oh yeah, and it does the tick, and we just kind of manually do it. So it's just 17. Yeah, it kind of scampers back a little bit towards one of the doors of these cow pens here, kind of nursing its wounds. It's still kind of burning here from the liquid from your alchemist fire. Let's see, elemental up here in the loft. They kind of disappeared into this cloud of smoke, and it jumps down from above here and kind of lands right in front of the doors. Right in front of you, Honker, is this fire mephit, and it looks at you and says, "You look fun." And it kind of moves towards you, Honker, and tries to take a bite at you with its little mouth. Totally whiffs it. Still probably pretty spooky anyways, for Honker. This is just straight up nightmare fuel for in Honker's department right now. Alright, Braz.
Alright, I will throw my bomb that I prepared last turn at the one right in front of me again.
Okay. Blast him. Alright.
Damn it.
It misses, but go ahead and roll the d8. We'll see where that goes. Okay, so it's a 1. Alright, so that went short. So the splash would just hit that guy. So that's just be another 1. Yeah, it'll just be another 1 damage on him.
Okay, and then I think my next 2 moves, I'm just gonna attack him with my club.
Okay.
Oh wait, I think and it didn't matter because it hit, but I think I was supposed to still use my attack one, even though it was my second turn, right?
I believe so, because that's your first with a weapon.
Right. Okay. Well,
smacking.
I'll do it correctly this time.
Yeah. Well, it hit, so yeah.
Okay.
All right. Laying them.
And that'll be my turn.
All right. Let's see. That brings us to Grotus. Nice.
Very
Nice.
nice.
Critical success. Ooh, laying out the nunchakus on... That was what, number 4? That was the one that ran back there after the little punchies. Alright, yeah, so you run in here with these nunchucks whirling and deliver a resounding retort to its "I'll show you some hits." And this little imp with a crack falls to the ground and then kind of dissipates into kind of a wisp of dirt. And that one is gone. I'm going to delete him here.
Salvaging momentum from that, he's going to swing at the other one.
All right.
Oh, okay, that one really thought about missing. That's my turn.
Oh, that's right. You moved. That's right. Okay. All right. Elemental 3 out here in the doorway with Honker. It turns around in the direction of Maz and Braz here, and not Grotus. As it does so, it kind of points a little kind of flamey finger in your direction, Honker, and says, "Well, I'll get back to you." And as it turns around, it like lets out this like kind of like the other ones with like the earth cone, lets out this cone of fire in the direction of Braz and Maz here. Oh, not target Honker. Oh, owie, Braz. Oh, big owie. Alright, both of you fail your save. Braz, you critical fail your save on that reflex. And both of you take a decent chunk of damage from this little wave of fire rippling under you here from this little mephit. The one up in the loft here, it also moves and kind of disappears in a cloud of smoke. It'll move down around this way. Maz.
She's gonna be extra angry and attack the fire method.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna try and use my acid splash cantrip I got.
Ooh, okay.
And hope that I do this right. Of course.
Ah, misses. All right, well you still got 2 actions, so you can still try some other stuff.
She's gonna just be like, "Ah, fucking magic," and use her hoop against it.
Hoop it up. Oh.
Apparently, she's still too annoyed at magic being dumb.
She's filled with rage.
Oh, the rolls.
She's so tiny, and the rage has nowhere to go.
You just still have one more action if you want to
Yeah,
try
I
smacking again.
know, and she would probably use it with her hoop because she's angry.
Ah. Misses all around. This other earth elemental, it... Oops, that's not who I wanted to have selected. You know, you took out its friend here, and it lets loose with its little fists in your direction, Grotus. Missing. 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 You're too big. It's too small. You're doing the old, you know, hold the kid's forehead at arm's length away. It's swinging. Its little arms can't quite get to you. Honker.
Classic. That works. Yes.
Honker, you're having a nightmare scenario out here.
Yeah, Honker will take a panicked 5-foot step backwards.
Okay.
And then he will start screaming, "Help me, help me. There's fire." No time for jokes for him. And but he is aware that Grotus is not in great shape. So he will, while he's doing that, he'll attempt to soothe Grotus.
Okay. Nice.
You'll gain 7 hit points and be slightly more mentally stable for a moment. And that'll be my turn.
Nice.
Will Grotus ever be slightly more mentally stable?
At least a little bit for now.
I mean, he's got days. The thing about being unstable is that you're all over the place. No one knows.
All right, Maz. Top of the order with you and your angular hoops.
She's gonna keep slashing away, cause fuck this thing.
Jesus. Hey, there we go. A hit. Nice, nice. All right. And a critical hit.
Nice.
Critical hit on the third attack roll. That's what you want to see.
The Angie!
Hey, Angie enough that takes that little fire method out. Much to the relief of Honker outside the door.
As it. Wait, so how small are the methods?
Like, methods are tiny in terms of size. So they are...
Are they smaller than me and Maz?
Yeah, they would be. They're like 1.5 foot tall.
Oh fuck, they're tiny.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
they're
as
little
it-
dinky buggers.
As it falls to the ground, she's going to summon her inner Grotus and stomp on it a few times and be like, "Ha! Take that, you fucker!"
As you do, it kind of satisfyingly Thanos snaps into fire, covers, and disappears, being an elemental.
She was very angry at it.
Clearly. Very nice crit though to round that out there. Braz.
That was some bad bitch energy, and I love it. Absolutely love it. And Braz is feeling very empowered seeing this bad bitch energy from her sister, and going to channel that into attacking this little fucker in front of me.
All right. Oh, nice hits and hits.
You gotta channel the bad bitch energy.
I guess so. Oh, not quite enough on the third one though. But still, 2 good hits in. This little earth method down here is not looking so hot. Let's see. Still can't do that. Still on cool down. So, fist it is. The swings feel a little weaker, but it connects. Once. 2 times. Oof. Grotus. Look a little rough down here.
I ain't done. I better just
I didn't
begin.
hear no bell.
My nunchucks are still in 2 pieces.
Oh, nice.
Kablam.
Kablam, indeed.
Hey, Grotus also, channeled the bad bitch energy.
Wow. All right. So with your little smack from this nunchuck, you managed to get this like the way you were spinning the nunchuck is that it was like coming from the bottom up over, and you kind of pretty satisfyingly crack it right under the head, and it flies up kind of into the air towards the loft. And as it kind of goes up there, it dies and kind of it almost kind of looks like it explodes into like a little cloud of dirt just up into the loft.
I think it. Well, with my remaining 2 actions, I'm going to charge at this other one with the nunchuck helicoptering overhead.
Okay.
And then get here just within range and whap him across the face.
That one is up in the loft.
God damn it. Alright, then I would stay where I was at, seeing that he's up in the loft, and throw a dart at them. I got rather a throwing knife, but they're labeled as darts.
Sure.
I don't know. I quite enjoyed the
Okay.
idea of Grotus like drunk stumble charging with a nunchuck helicopter and then swinging at nothing.
It is a pretty great mental image.
True. True. So you chuck this dart up in this thing's direction. It doesn't quite manage to get to it here. It's being sneaky. It's got like this little cloud of smoke that it had done up here as it's been moving around. Honker. The doorway is not quite so full of nightmares anymore.
Honker still in an absolute complete panic, I think, because of the fire got really close.
Yeah.
So he is still screaming like for help. He'll fall down to his knees, and then he'll use Spirit Link on Grotus. Again, all the while kind of asking for help. So this one's a little bit of a weird one, but
Okay.
this triggers on my turns, start of my turns.
Okay.
Grotus will take 2 healing from me, and I will take 2 damage.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And then I can't take healing anymore either. That's my turn.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So this old fire method up here in the loft, seeing its compatriots get stomped and nunchucked into the sky, it is kind of feeling a bit of a lack of motivation up here in light of seeing you all, and it actually scampers out one of the windows in the loft up here and just leaves. It takes its life and it fucks off. This isn't worth it.
It chooses life.
It chooses life.
Can I try a parkour and try to see if I catch wind of where it goes, or is it just fuck off into the elemental plane?
Sure, why not?
Stuntman, here we go. Acrobatics check.
Fire away. So with this acrobatics check, you kind of run your ways down the barn here and try to make a nice leap up. Kind of using some of these doors from some of these pens as a little bit of an extra leverage to kind of launch yourself up. Doesn't quite go as planned. You kind of run up to one of these gates and you get your hands on it and you kind of try to vault yourself up over this, and you do vault yourself over that gate, but not up particularly high, and you just kind of land on the other side, just on your feet. You did a kind of cool little jump over that pen gate though.
It looked really cool for a second.
So as you are like running kind of down through the middle of this barn here, like you notice, most of these like pens and things, like their doors are like open or ajar or whatever. But the feed pen on the eastern side of the barn, the middle one, like these storage, like these feed pens, like their doors are like a big solid like square. All of them are. The middle one is closed. And in kind of the silence that falls after the dissipation of all these little methods and things, you kind of hear some muffled noises from behind that particular door.
Well, that's probably not good.
Gross is gonna like repeat himself a little bit differently, but he's like, "Show yourself, dickhead."
Maz is gonna go over and knock on the door.
So you knock on the door, Maz, and like, after you do, you're kind of listening for a moment, and like the kind of muffled noises almost kind of intensify. Like it sounds like people. You can't quite make it out very well, but perhaps maybe their mouths are full of cloth. Kind of sounds like help.
Let's get
This
in
might
there.
be the owner of those boots and hat.
Yeah, Browse is like totally trying to get in here.
So the feed storage door, like, it opens just fine. It's not like locked or anything. But you open this door and you find a whole family. Sarah, Rickert, and Ima, three of the Hofton family. They're all roped together here and lashed to a post in the middle of the feed bin. And they're tied up. They've got like just kind of some cloth gags in their mouths. They look they look a bit disheveled, but they see you open the door and they see you're not these little mephits, and they see you're not anybody else. And immediately their eyes kind of widen. They're kind of like,
And I'm rushing in. I'm like untying them, taking their gags off.
okay.
You bras, they slobbered on those.
I've had much worse on me than slobber, Maz. It's okay.
So you, as you get these, as you get this family untied here, amongst their, their thanks to you for getting them free, like they introduce themselves as the Hoftons, who you do recognize that name. One of the places that has been mentioned by the mayor to kind of look into was the mill, the town mill, is the Hofton Mill, and the family that ran that had also been one of the kind of group of people that have been missing recently, along with the sheriff and whatnot. And it seems that here they are. Like as you get them, untied, um, Sarah, the wife, she begins kind of recounting this tale to you all about how they were having, like, we were having dinner at our mill, and suddenly this this halfling woman busted into the mill with this horrible horde of rats, and quickly we were overwhelmed, and we were tied up and dragged out to wherever this is, and we've been just kind of left in here ever since. And they left these little demons behind to torment us, and they haven't left us any water or food. I don't know what they want, but I mean, she said that she was from the Hermitage, which that seems so strange. Like we've been friends with the Hermitage of Blessed Lightning for so long. We never would have expected them to do something like this. Although we hadn't really seen her around before there. But she spoke of the Hermitage so often. It perhaps we just had never met her. I don't know. But she certainly didn't seem to like us or like Aberton.
We've had a lot of stories, or at least one story, of just some runoff from that Order of Sacred Lightning. Seems the lightning is forked. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it certainly seems that way. She seems to blame everything that's wrong, like anything negative, any environmental changes, the heat, the dry spells, things going dry, like declining birth rates. Like she'd go on these tirades all the time, just blaming Aberton for everything, saying it was all their fault, and uh, and then she would command these animals to do things for her, like all of these disgusting rats that she had with her, these little demons, and like they just followed her everywhere. And as far as we could tell, she just wanted to terrorize Aberton so much that everyone would just leave. And I remember, like she was saying that like there was some people that were coming to town, and that like it was like a group or something, maybe like a show, I don't know, but she thought it was like a good opportunity to take out like a big visitor and get some attention or something. I don't really know what was on with that. We've been in here for days and days.
She ever mention anything about accomplices besides elementals? She ever talk about her master's wishes or anything like that?
The only other things that we saw, we mostly just saw all the animals and things that she had with her. As she's sitting there thinking, um, what is his name? Reichert, the husband, kind of speaks up, and he says, when she had brought us in here, there were I was awake enough that I saw some others that were with her. They, well, I don't really know how best to describe them. I'd never seen something like them before. But they had robes like they were from the Hermitage, but their skin was loose. It was a horrible, disgusting sight.
Gross.
I don't know if they had some sort of manner of affliction or what. But they came in, and there were I remember seeing there was somebody else that they had tied up here when we arrived. Who was it? It was
Was it the sheriff? Because he's been missing.
No, it wasn't the sheriff. It was. But where are we right now? Actually, what is this? What is this building? Do you know where we are? Like where in relation to Aberton?
Out of character, I don't have my journal with me. Otherwise, I would know the name of this farm. So with that down.
This is the Lindell farm.
Lindell farm. Okay, yeah, we're at the Lindell farm.
Yes, that's who it was. The Lindell brothers. They when we were brought here, they were already here. They were tied up as well. They had them in another one of the stalls here, and I remember seeing these strange, loose-skinned abomination of sorts. They were like filled with worms. It was horrible. They walked in, and they like their skin was loose, and then their skin. I mean, you might want to cover Ima's ears, Sarah, as you might not want to hear this. The skin fell off in a pile on the ground, and it was just all worms of a sort. And they came out, and they all went into where they had the brothers kept, and I don't know what they did to
Bras cover
the
my
brothers.
bras cover my ears too.
But
Okay.
whenever it was done, I saw what was left of the brothers, they left. But their skin was all loose, and like I think they got turned into something awful, and then the worm things left.
That's a really gross story.
I mean, there might still be, round like I said, the strange visitors, like their whole skin just it just like came off. It might still be around here somewhere. I don't know. It didn't seem very important to them. Maybe you might want to take a look around. We haven't, we've been tied up in here for days, but if it helps, with Aberton and whatever this horrible atrocity, this affront to the gods, it was unholy. Ah,
Does one of those brothers typically wear a flat brimmed hat?
flat brimmed hat. No, that would be. If it was a flat brimmed hat, that was likely that's the hat the sheriff usually wears. What did they have him out looking for us? I assume.
I don't know, but we found a bloody hat and some bloody boots.
Goodness, well then they must have gotten to the sheriff here too. Well, if you will excuse my wife and child, I think we would very much like to get out of this barn and get back to our homestead. Get some food into us, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
He kind of gathers up his wife and and kid Ima here, and kind of heads towards the door to the north, to kind of make his way out of the barn. But as he leaves, he kind of calls back. I hope you find something that helps. I don't know how to deal with these sorts of things.
Where can we find you if we have to follow up on questions?
Well, I mean, we own the Hofton Mill. It's on the west end of town, just right on the stream. Can't miss it. Has the big water wheel for the grinding, of course.
Got it. Let me some grinding. We'll be around. Hopefully not though.
All right, so they head out to the north, and you guys are alone here in the barn. You take a look around.
Yeah.
Looking for worms and flesh bits.
Maz is just gonna try and forget about the skin sack of worms.
All right, so you guys take a look around in here. You kind of check them through these stalls. You get to like that southernmost cow stall on the western side of the barn. And as you look into these, you find, kind of matching the description of what Reichert had described, two just piles of skin. Like it just like fell off of someone's bones in a big piece. And each of these piles of skin in here in this cow stall, they're kind of mixed up in the pile with these gray robes, the color of a storm cloud, and you see some of religious symbols. These are kind of wooden necklaces and kind of other ornamentation that give me a religion check, anyone who's looking at these.
I would argue, can I roll clown lore?
Sure.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I know that's not valid. Check.
That's a very George Carlin approach to religion. Yeah.
I don't know. I wanted to hear his argument.
I know, right? Alright, so Braz, you take a look at these and you do recognize. So these ornaments, like clearly when they were like initially made, they they have this symbol of Gazra, who is you guys have seen before. It's this like leaf symbol with the dripping water. It was on like that bag that you guys found in the woods that the water methods were trying to fill with rocks. This is the deity that gets worshipped over at this hermitage. However, you notice that while these ornaments clearly were made with Gazra in mind, all of these religious symbols on these wooden ornaments have just been defaced to hell. There's these jagged runes all over these that are just kind of like carved across the kind of main insignia of Gazra, and just all over all these little tiny runes just everywhere. And with the religion check that you made, Braz, these are these are demonic runes. You don't really know too much else aside from that, but you do recognize that they are demonic in nature. The other thing you guys notice in here in this stall is leaning against the wall nearby are two tridents that are bloodstained, which is a little odd. You feel like you don't really see tridents around very commonly, but they're in here. They're just kind of leaning against the wall in the corner.
Well, Grotus will go to investigate those, seeing as they seem to have been recently used and they're not common pitchforks.
Yeah, I mean, just taking a look at them, like like they're a typical trident look to them. Like you don't see anything particularly odd about them aside just from that they're there. Like they're just not as common of a melee weapon that you see around. Spears are a lot more common, but it's kind of manufactured like a spear, just three pronged at the end. You don't really know much. You don't really know much what else to make of them, just aside from that they seem out of place. A lot of stuff here seems out of place.
These people really didn't like this religion.
Yes, it would appear that way.
Do you guys check up in the loft at all?
Yeah, it seemed like the methods were resting around there.
Okay. All right. So you head upstairs to the upper part of the barn here, and I think. Oh, yeah, there is one. Okay. Turn all these. Lighting. There we go. Here's the loft. So the loft up here, like you have the ladder, and it's mostly bare for the most part. There is a small bedroll up in the northwest corner that you find, and it is surrounded by a prodigious quantity of rat droppings. So it seems pretty clear who might have hung out up here in this corner. And on the ground, or kind of carved into the wood of the loft next to this here, you see another one of these sigils of Gazra carved into the ground, as well as also a whole bunch of these little tiny demonic runes that you guys saw kind of marring the other symbols worn by whatever was in those skin suits downstairs. And the way that this is drawn, give me another Arcana check. Whoever's up here checking this out. Okay. So this appears to be set up in a summoning circle of some sort. So, but given all of the little demonic scribblings out here, it seems there is some sort of corruption of whatever Gazra worship has been going on at this hermitage. Something seems to be fucky here, because Gazra is definitely not a demonic entity.
There are skin suits. Of course, something is fucky.
Man, that's just Tuesday.
It's not Tuesday.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think we take these findings back.
You do also find up here, as you guys are kind of poking around in Nemio's stuff, you find a flask which appears to be full of some sort of oil. And I'll put that in the party sheet. And I guess if you want to Arcana on it to try to identify what it is.
Seems like a job for an alchemist.
It does seem like a job for an alchemist. That's good enough. Alright. This is, you identify this as an oil of mending. You're kind of taking a look at the brew in this little bottle here, Braz. And like the oil appears to have like a number of translucent threads that like are swirling around within it. And if you apply this to an item, it casts a second level mending spell on whatever you rub it on. So that's neat.
So it's Wonder Glue.
Pretty much, yeah. You've basically found liquid flex tape.
Let's build a boat.
Let's build a boat. Yeah.
Be good if we had a shield user. I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
That would be
So,
useful.
that's the downside to a shield user in Pathfinder is your shield gets busted up. I just realized that makes the mending spell actually useful.
That would, yeah, because a lot of times that doesn't really come into play very much, but yeah, that definitely would for that kind of thing. All right, but yeah, you guys have pretty thoroughly looked
I'm
over
thinking
the fuckery in this barn, but
we take our findings to the mayor and to the professor, but we keep it away from that one really smooth guy who's really good at impressions, and just generally keep it. And since we know people who are really good at impressions and shapeshifting, we keep this information pretty tight to the vest. But we know that the druid we already killed seemed to be the main operator on the ground, but she was also trafficking with other contacts.
mm-hmm.
And the mayor said he was going to try to get us an audience with the druids at the Hermitage.
He did, yeah. Like he'd been friends with what was his name? Harlech Hamdeal, who runs the Hermitage. He said he'd been known him for years and years, and was just as confused as anyone else by the rumors that the Hermitage was somehow doing this, because that didn't make any sense to him. But he said he was going to go try to get an audience with them.
So you know that somebody's trying to do perverted Gazra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not someone, a dead someone, but whatever can of worms they open, pun intended, that's still unaccounted for.
Indeed.
Big old can of worms.
Big old can of worms, indeed.
So yeah, it looks like she summoned something that she's not around to dismiss. So we got a handful.
All right. So you guys just gonna go try to head straight for the mayor with the deets?
Probably the best idea.
Yeah, and again, keep all the stuff, all the evidence, like tight in the anti-looting bag, so no one sees what we're carrying.
Okay.
I mean, the less Moz has to talk about skin sacks full of worms, the better. So she's not going to be talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do you guys, are you guys gonna, do you guys want to like take any time to try to treat your wounds and things at all while we're not?
Yeah, I would like if somebody would attempt to treat wounds on me.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
barely hanging on by Honker's reverse voodoo doll thing.
Yeah, I'm hurting kind of bad too.
See, I imagine like he voodoo dolls himself, and that takes away one of my wounds.
Yeah, essentially that's what's happening. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm no good at medicine though, so I can't help any of you. Besides what I've done so far.
Yeah, I have like nothing in medicine.
I don't know what I have. I have a cat on top of me.
Yeah, I'm not trained, so I can't even attempt.
I don't think
Yeah.
anybody's. Oh shit.
Are any of us trained in medicine? This might be a problem.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't
I
see.
think we know next time we get a skill boost what we should all be getting.
Yep. I don't see any trainings in medicine. Oh shit. That's
All right, I'll just rub some dirt in it. It'll be fine.
Well, I was going to ask Moog
Yeah.
after session
Mm-hmm.
if he would be okay with me redoing one of my cantrips because I misread it.
Oh, yeah, which one are you?
So, well, I had originally taken Tanglefoot,
Hmm.
and I thought that it did damage, but I guess not.
No, Tanglefoot is
No.
literally just like chucking
It
some like
reduces their move
And you
speed.
really don't need it because I have Tanglefoot bombs.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was gonna approach you after to see if I could redo that. And
Yeah.
choose a different one, and if you guys want me to, I can find a cantrip that does Healies.
Yeah, I'd say that that's fine. I mean, especially since like you didn't like realize what it did. Like that's fine with me if you want to kind of undo that selection and do something else instead.
The game provides for that. Like it's a thing.
Oh, does it?
Huh? It's not even, it's definitely, it leaves a lot up to GM discretion
Mm-hmm.
for sure, but there is retraining for regrets or stuff like that for sure. It's all part of the game, and it's just like the GM basically says, oh, it's going to take you this long, and so you could say, oh, it just, okay, sure, do that, that's not a problem. And then that's the one thing I really liked about Path, versus 5e where you just have to hand wave it.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. That's fine with me. If that's perfectly fine with me. If you want to redo something like that, that's cool.
Okay.
Okay. And I do know. Yeah, we definitely are a ways over half. So we should probably take our quick little break. We don't have too much left tonight, but we should probably still take our little break just in case people need to. So if we want to go ahead and go take a drink, do what you got to do, and come back at around right down on the south end of that map. Kind of a lone building next to that field there. And, with these interesting things you guys have found down at the barn here, you guys are heading back up into town, making your way towards the mayor's place. The city hall is up on the northern end of town. You can kind of see there's that building with the orange roof. That's kind of a little protrusion on the northern side. That would be the city hall of Baberton. You're making your way that way. But as you're making your way through this kind of southern part of town here and getting up near the bridge across the stream there, you see up ahead of you that there's a kind of a small crowd that's kind of gathered along the street. And they all seem to be kind of looking at something. You can't see it, like from the direction you guys are coming. Whatever they're looking at is kind of behind the buildings here for you. But you do hear a voice kind of calling out over the crowd here. And all of you roll a history check for me.
History?
History.
Gonna roll lore theories. That's the closest thing I got.
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah, closest thing I got is like
Yeah,
society or clown lore.
Oh, yeah, I guess that would be.
Yeah, there's not a history.
Oh, derp. Yeah, but I always forget that some of these are different. Yeah, I guess that would be. Yeah, that works. Yeah, society or lore. That works. Cool. All right. So all.
I haven't rolled yet.
Oh, yep. All right. Nice rolls across the board. All of you recognize this voice. And it is not a voice that you like at all. And as you come around the corner here, you see that there is kind of a little kind of raised spot here. It looks like some crates have been like pushed together. And there are 3 colorfully dressed people that are kind of dancing around, playing tambourines and pipes, and one of them is calling out from the top of this. Specifically, a tall, broad-shouldered woman who is carrying a whip and accompanied by a magnificent lion, as well as a shirtless man covered in strange tattoos who is kind of walking around the edges here, periodically breathing gouts of fire across these metal batons that he's carrying. And then also a brilliantly bedecked clown who leaps and rolls and flips and cavorts in constant feats of acrobatics. And this broad-shouldered woman is calling out to the crowd, "Prepare yourselves and your souls, people of Aberton, for a cavalcade of celestial marvels, for sights so spectacular, so marvelous, that you will speak of them forever. After, with awestruck tears in your eyes, prepare for the show to surpass any you have ever seen. Any. Even more than yesterday, perhaps. Or days before. Perhaps prepare instead for the dawning of Mistress Dusklight's celestial menagerie." And all 3 of you recognize all 3 of these people. The woman with the broad shoulders, you know as Daring Danica, the lion tamer. The fire breather, you also know as Victor Volcano. And the clown, Jellicoe Bounce Bounce. All 3 from Mistress Dusklight's Celestial Menagerie and you all do not have fond memories of any of these people. Much less the Dusklight Menagerie as a whole. As you're kind of coming up the street here, all three of them, at the moment they see you, they kind of overreact with these dramatic expressions and gasp. They're like, "Oh, people of Averton, please, we must warn you against these cheap imposters. We will show you a real show, not some amateurish parade of feeble animals and struggling charlatans."
I mean, being amateur is better than being beat every day.
Y'all fucking B squad up in here, I tell you what.
Beat?
Mr. Volcano up there, they ain't even real tattoos, man. That shit rubs right off. Get nail polish remover on that shit. Fucking poser. You oogle.
Again, they all kind of try to rile up the crowd with these like, "Ooh, oh, challenging us, are you? Well, you know what? It's a performance duel. We challenge you. Prove you aren't amateurs. Right here, right now, in this street."
I mean, we don't have anything to prove. You're clearly the one with an inferiority complex.
Ooh, and like the crowd around here, they're kind of reacting to this here. But you can tell the crowd is kind of, they're looking at you, they're looking at these three that are up here, and they're kind of getting excited for some kind of show here. A couple of people are like, "Yeah, duel him, performance duel. Let's see it. And these,
Yeah, I think
these
Honker and Grotus are ready to do like a rap diss battle.
Oh my god!
Just
Fucking
like,
I would
hey,
pay so
like-
much money to hear that.
Mr. Volcano, face like baked potato. Fake,
Oh shit!
fake
Love it.
tattoo boogaloo.
What's happening?
Oh my god!
You do with your face what I do with my ass. Can't tell the difference. The looking glass, motherfucker.
Oh man!
And then, so yeah, that'll be my opening salvo. Is a quick verse about how Mr. Volcano's a poser, and then I'm gonna take his, fire-breathing torch and light my fart.
Beautiful. Okay,
It's a
so
stunt I've practiced that he can't do.
all right, so this is not like a standard, like this isn't like a combat fight, but just for the purposes of this, we're putting it in a map, and they're in.
This is a you got served kind of line. I like.
This is a dance battle, and I fucking love it.
This is a dance battle in the street. So let me
Of circus stunts
Yeah.
instead of head spins.
Okay, so with this challenge of this performance duel, like you all are well aware of this kind of circumstance. This is a time-honored tradition among traveling performers, pitting rival acts against each other one-on-one in front of an audience for the most applause. So we've started out here with Grotus taking on Victor Volcano. So you give me a performance roll, Grotus, for your little torch fart trick here. Hot dang, that is the way. That's what we like to see. All right,
Starting
so
off strong.
starting off strong. So Grotus, you let out
Strong as the fart.
you let out these rhymes, you let out these gaseous expulsions, and it lands. The crowd is quite impressed. So much so with what you've rolled there on performance that they actively begin booing Victor Volcano in this one-on-one duel between you two.
I got more talent between my ass cheeks than you got in your whole body, boy.
As
Look,
you've clearly
God
proven.
damn! All right,
Fart jokes never get old, man.
all right. So we'll do that here. So like with this, like this part, it's all one on one. You know, there's protocol to this. You can try, and you know, we didn't really need to do this particular thing for Grotus, but just so the rest of you are aware, since we kind of jumped right into it there, you can build up your performance check by first attempting a check with a different skill. It has to pass a DC 15. But if you do succeed on whatever you're trying to like build yourself up with, that'll give you a bonus to your performance check. So, you know, you've done some owning on Victor Volcano, but you do still also have Danica and Jellicoe Bounce here, as well as Danica's lion, Leandris, as well, who is very, very well kept in check with Danica and her whip.
So, well, the crowd goes, oh, and I just kind of like fade back into my boys and like, you know,
Yep.
drop the mic on them.
Yep.
I'll tag in whoever wants to go next.
All right. Who's tagging in? We're gonna say Jellicoe Bounce is coming up here. Some of these guys.
Oh yeah, I'll take in.
Oh yeah, Honker's gonna honk that shit.
Clown v clown. Let me get you. Some of these guys have pictures. Bigger ones. Let me get you the one at Jellicoe.
Note that I have taken feats to the point where if I perform well enough, I know this isn't exactly a combat circumstance, but I don't know that this applies. I am able to actually completely fascinate people that watch me when I perform because I'm great.
That's
I'm
right.
so awesome.
That's right. I remember that.
Can we talk about the fact that he has bloody sacks tied to his belt?
Yeah, meat hooks and everything there.
He's a bit of a yeah.
He's more of a House of a Thousand Corpses kind of clown.
Okay, so Honker, are you doing anything to kind of like build yourself up with a different check before as you kind of strut out here to one-on-one clown v clown?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I have
Oh,
you know,
no.
I prepare for these things. So like I've got juggling clubs that I'm juggling while I'm like, you know, walking in. I'm bouncing them off my nose so that they honk, my nose honks. I've got a bunch, you know, I switch out with some juggling balls and whatnot.
Okay. Let's see. So do you, what check would you say you'd like to do with?
I figure that's performance. I mean,
okay, so just kind of build yourself up with that, and then do the actual thing. Okay. So with the 17 on that does succeed with kind of building yourself up. So this gives you a +2 circumstance bonus to your actual throwdown with Jellicoe. So like as you're kind of coming up here, you know, Jellicoe, he is also, along with his bouncing acrobatic capabilities, is also a quite you know, you are well aware that he is also a prolific juggler, specifically of bowling pins. And so he has already kind of begun his act towards the crowd, you know, chucking these bowling pins in these wide, impressive arcs, catching them. You know, and you know the crowd is cheering him on, and it's up to you to try to outdo him. So go ahead and roll your performance check with the +2 circumstance bonus, and let's see how that goes. All right, nice. That does. So with that, compared to them, let's see, that wouldn't be quite. Okay, so it's a success. All right, so with this, you come out here, you're doing your juggling act with what was it you said that you're juggling again?
I've got all sorts of different things I can juggle, but I do specifically have juggling clubs, which are a weapon, but also they're specifically kind of juggling bowling pins. Which, especially if I know that Dum Dum over here, my opponent, does bowling pins, I do the same thing as him just to show him I can do it better.
All right. And with the role that you had in performance, you do. It's actually, kind of impressive. I mean, the Jellicle Bounce, he's a big guy. He's a gangly guy. He's got a lot of arm. I mean, yeah, he can juggle, but his arms are fucking huge, and so it's not really. It's not like he has to reach very far. You down here, your little poppet self. It's honestly quite impressive to the crowd as you're juggling these things. Like, how are you catching these? How are you getting to where you need to be fast enough with your small little self? It kind of boggles the imagination, and the crowd, like with the cheers from the crowd. You kind of having this impromptu, like, kind of cheer gauge going on with the crowd, see who is louder, and you're definitely getting the louder cheers here. You see, Jellicoe kind of steps back. He didn't get the booze like Victor Volcano did, but you can tell he's kind of pissed about this.
I love it. Fuck this guy.
All right. Who's tagging in?
I
guess
mean,
I
in the
can
spirit of
go.
in the spirit of Pokemon, we should know who they're bringing up next.
True. I mean, it is just the three of them. So this last one will be Danica.
It'll be
with
a doubles act.
Yeah, Danica with Leandris.
So, Maz, we should probably double act then.
Yeah.
Hey, that's only fair. That's only fair. All right.
A lion tamer versus a twin act. That works.
But I want to kind of build up the crowd because my arms are covered in tattoos of flames. We've already kind of made fun of the other guy's tattoos of like these are real tattoos, and I like flex my arms so it looks like the flames are moving.
Okay. And what do you want to roll for that? For like a check?
I have no idea.
Maybe intimidation?
That could be intimidation or athletics, since it's biceps flexing.
I would be fine with
think-
either of those, whichever
I think
you prefer.
athletics would be probably better.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think while she's flexing, Maz is going to.
You could also hero point that if you want.
That's
I
true.
think I'm going to.
Maz is going to like spin a bladed hoop on each arm.
Okay.
And I guess that would probably be athletics as well.
Okay. I forget, Moz. Did we explain to you the concept of hero points?
No.
Okay, so if you look at your character sheet, you'll see up at the top there is, like on the main thing, there is a hero points thing.
Yeah.
So you can think of these kind of like inspiration in D&D in a way. Every time we have a session, you automatically have one. But I can give out more for cool shit. Whatever I fucking want. So basically, if you want to, you can at any point spend that hero point to like re-roll something. So like if you had something that you just really want to re-roll, whether it was like an attack or some sort of save or whatever. If stuff went bad, you can give yourself another chance with the hero point. And I got to be a little bit better about chucking those out myself. Because I sometimes forget.
I don't think you've ever.
I honestly forgot about him until
I did. I have too.
It's hard.
Yeah, I always forget to kind of give stuff out for that. I need to be better about chucking out hero points because those can be very, very useful.
Whenever I forget
like
about
in
them
this
for a
instance,
session,
I really needed that to up the ante.
yeah, or if I forget about them for a session, then I make a point of it. Just like I'll use it early on the next session, even if it's for something dumb, just so it's better than forgetting to use it.
And I'll try to make a note for myself to be better about like giving those out because I mean like I know Quick would try to like kind of give those out as like candy, almost.
You're supposed to hand like technique. I know I'm always like rules is red. The suggestion is like 1.5 per hour per player per session, but I try.
Players, you're doing cool shit.
Yeah, it
Which,
changed.
that
I would
varies.
say.
I mean, just thinking back to this session, I can think of at least several points where I could probably have chucked out some hero points for things. So
I would just like to say that if I do a prepared summary for a session, then it might be worth a hero point.
yeah, I mean stuff like that.
I don't always
great,
prepare them, but when I do, it's really fun.
You always do a good job with that.
great dad jokes from Honker, shit like that. So I mean, just so they're there for next time. Um, Everybody just go ahead and give yourself 2 more hero points, and we'll just have those there. Because thinking back to some of the great shit that's been going on this session, guys should probably have some, and I need to be better about giving those out. So go ahead and change that up on your sheets.
I do really kick myself when I realize I should have used the dream pollen to get the bad guys high. That would have been way more on brand.
So yeah, with your hero point, Braz, you did get a better roll there. So that one does give you the +2 bonus. Or Braz, Maz, are you doing anything to kind of to boost up your performance roll?
I was going to uh I was going to spin a bladed hoop on each arm
Oh, right.
while she was flexing.
Okay.
And I figured that would probably be athletics.
Sure, that sounds reasonable to me. Go ahead.
And that's perfect setup because I think I know something cool we can do.
And that passes. So both of you have a +2 to your performance check. So like while you guys are kind of getting yourselves hyped up, you're getting these hoops spinning, you're flexing these little flame tattoos. Danica over here with Leandris is doing some, like having him do some like majestic jumps through some hoops. At one point she has, she kind of coats this hoop with some sort of liquid and lights it on fire and has, Leandris jump through that, and the crowd's oohing and eyeing at these. And we're over to you two. What are you guys doing? Roll your performance checks. Let's see how this goes.
So my thought was that I'd be doing fireballs and all that, but then I would light Maz's spinning blades on fire. So it looks like I lit my sister on fire.
So with yours, Braz, so you do not pass the check for the performance. You just regular failed.
Oh, I forgot to add my +2.
Well,
It
you
should be
still
19.
Maz, you still passed.
You're
You
still
were
good.
over what we needed with the with that. Yeah, with the
Okay.
with the +2, you're good. So Maz, you succeeded. We'll say with the failure, like you're trying to like blow fire on these hoops and get them on fire, and you only manage to get one of them. You kind of miss the other one. So it just kind of it doesn't quite land as well as you would want. Not enough that the crowd is booing you, but some of them are just kind of like, oh, okay, like amateurish performance maybe. But Maz, you still kind of managed to get it to land on your end of things, and the hoop spinnery and kind of dexterous work with those still goes well, despite only having one hoop on fire. So you do manage to come out on pretty much about even ground with Danica there, and they step back. And so now, with the one-on-one portion of this done, there is one last part of the performance duel that always happens at the end of these. After all of the one-on-ones, everyone performs together. This is a group v group performance, basically kind of a climactic duel of all versus all. So how this works is that with the roles is that the four of you choose who is going to be your lead guy for your group, and the rest of you can aid in their check according to the rules of aiding. So with aiding in Pathfinder, the way that goes,
You roll the appropriate. appropriate die, and if you roll 10 or better, you add a +2 to the roll.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so with all of you, if all three of you rolled, above a 10, then whoever is the front guy will get a +6 to their particular roll. So, all versus all, Danica, Victor, and Jellicle Bounce are coming up here. It looks like they are having Jellico Bounce kind of be their front man of their trick here as a group. Who is going to be your group's leading?
Grotus struts forward like the drunkest guy at the bar. He starts dropping a verse on Jellico. It's me, oh my Roy, you look like a walking thyroid. You're not a man, you're a gland. You're one big neck with sausage hands.
And this
I stole that from a band called Idols. That's not on the spot. Everything else has been on the spot.
Well, that's the kind of shit that,
Wait, how do
gets
we
me hero
miss this
points.
spot?
So throw yourself another hero point sheet because that's fucking great. All right.
And then I decided while everyone else was, I tidied up my verse for Mr. Volcano, which is Mr. Volcano faced like a baked potato. Your tattoos are finger paint. Your muscles are Play-Doh. So these are all landing, just one after another.
Yeah. So the other three of you can do a performance check to aid in boosting this epic rap battle of history here. And if successful, this will add to the final roll that we will have Grotus do to pull out the group here. Okay. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And in addition to the bonuses here that you guys are adding on, there is an additional bonus that is thrown into the mix for each one-on-one duel that was successfully won. So 3 out of 4 of you like resoundingly won your duels, and so especially with Grotus's, which was a critical success. So that adds an additional. Let's see. Oh, actually, no, that doesn't add an additional. This decreases the DC you have to pass to win this group. So that takes it down by, let's see, 18, 17, 19, 14. Okay. So the DC for this performance, Grotus, is 14. And you have a +6 with the help of your compatriots.
Okay. So I put the +6 modifier into the tray, and I'll roll the performance now.
All right. Bring it home.
You got this.
It's enough. That 6 is enough. All right.
DC 14.
That's a good thing that those all added in there, because the original DC was 18, so it would have evened out right there at the end. But with the successes in the earlier half, that boosted you guys enough to win this success. The townspeople cheer. Your group is the resounding winner in this street performance battle. And the 3 members of the Celestial Menagerie, they all look a bit pissed, and a bit defeated, and all 3 of them kind of slink away, kind of down a back street in shame from this. And since you guys won this, the next time that we run a show, this adds, roll 7 excitement to the end, to the show, just off the bat, because you guys won this.
So we gotta make sure we build anticipation to match that.
Yes. And let me write this. Let me find that sheet here. I can just put that in there already. Circus. Where is that? didn't I put this down on my bar? Oh, here it is. Okay. Excitement. With 7. Cool. All right. You guys successfully won you won your street magic battle. And the crowd has begun to disperse after this impromptu show. You guys feel a little
After they got served.
Yeah, after they got pretty well served. It was a good showing all around. You guys kind of showed them the business. The celestial menagerie is worse off with you all, the talents of you all not being there. That's part of them, and it shows.
Man, I'll be happy if I never have to see that clown again.
For real, man.
We can only hope. All right. So, with that, as you guys kind of continue on your merry way to the mayor with the information that you guys have, we are going to call that there with this successful street fight. Nice work, and we'll pick up next time with the mayor and the hermitage and whatever else happens from here.
Right on. I'm pumped.
All right.
I'm happy with us being a group that like struggles in combat, but then dominates in all performance and social situations.
Right?
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, it
We're
makes sense.
totally stuck at fighting, but we are
couldn't
excellent
hardly get
performers.
over a 10 in our fight rolls.
Thematically appropriate. Oh, very nice.
All right, good game, guys.
Indeed. We'll see you
Yep.
guys next time.
Bye.
See you later.
All right. Let me see if there's anybody on this time of night. Oh, Missy is. Let's go raid. Raid miscellaneous and say hello. Looks like they're playing the new Sonic Frontiers game. I haven't really checked that one out a lot, but I've heard good things. I've heard not so good things. Seems like it's kind of a mixed bag, but seems like a lot of people are enjoying it though, so that's cool. We'll go say hello. See yous.